Hello everyone, this is Ritesh from Dancing with Data. So what I have for you today? So we are going to talk about hands-on interview questions. This is my second series. So this is the first question, explain the types of Tableau calculation with example. And the reason for starting this series is that I want to give you hands-on experience as well when you are trying to answer the question. So it's always good to not only read the theory part, but also try to understand the concept with an example. So let's get started. And after Tableau project lifecycle, this is the second series. Both are running in parallel. So I hope the both will be useful for you. You can also help me out by writing the interview question that you might have encountered and you would have thought that maybe you would have replied in a different way. So you are always welcome. So today we are going to talk about the types of calculation with hands-on example. We start with row level calculation. That is, row level calculation are calculated for each dataset row. Aggregate calculations, these are the level of detail of your visualization. Okay. Table calculations are calculated after the aggregation, or say, for example, running sum or the percent difference. Level of detail expression, when aggregation has to be completed at a different level of detail than the viz level of. When we say viz level, for example, you see that order date and sum of sales, right? So that is at viz level, you would say that the level of detail is at year level, right? So that's what they are talking about. But anyways, we are going to do hands-on example. So let us first go to the worksheet and start with the row level calculation. So in front of you, you can see a particular order ID, profit and sales, and profit ratio row level. So first of all, you would be thinking, what is this profit ratio and profit ratio row level? So let us go and see what is that. So there are two different calculations over there with profit ratio row level, you see that profit is divided by sales, right? No sum of profit divided by sum of sales. Whereas for the profit ratio, you would see sum of profit divided by sum of sales. So it gives you an idea, right? So when you are at order ID, and so let us first start with the sum of profit divided by sum of sales with the help of calculator. And will because you see the profit ratios are coming different for both the formulas, right? So you must be curious that why we see different profit ratios when you do sum of profit, sum of sales, and in the other side you do profit divided by sales. So let's try to do with the help of calculator and see. We go our visualization is at order ID level, and I have profit as minus 38.08, and to divide that by sales, sum of sales, that is 23.63, and here I get minus 1.611. So that is the profit ratio. So that's fine. That but how we are getting profit ratio at the row level where the formula is different, right? Like this. For this, how I am getting minus 3. Okay, let us first try to understand the concept of visualization level aggregation. Here, if you see, order ID is the dimension which is determining the level of detail for your visualization. Now you can think that with this data set, can we for is it the lowest level of granularity or not? Just think about your Amazon or Flipkart. When you're ordering, and within that order, you will have multiple products, right? So probably that's not the lowest level of detail for this data set as well. And we'll try to find it out that whether do we have any something called product ID over there. So we do have product ID. In the graphical representation, I can just show you that, for example, if the big rectangle is the odd one order ID, within that order ID, there will be multiple small rectangles over there, black color rectangles. And the summation of say profit or sales is giving you those values over there, that is 38 or 23. The other way to disaggregate the visualization is to just go to the analysis and just uncheck this tick mark, and you'll get an idea. This minus 8, minus 29, 16, and 6.97. These are the aggregation that you are getting as 38 and 23. So when you do those sum of sales, sum of profit divided by sum of sales, simply you are getting 1.61. So that's fine. But when it comes to the profit ratio at row level, it will go to each and every row. And in our case, we are going down to product ID level, right? So when I disaggregate it from there, Or from here also, if I just put product ID over there, so you get an idea that you're getting the same values. So that is the lowest level of granularity for our data set. So if you remember, we were getting 3, and you were wondering that how we are getting 3 over there, minus 3. We know how we get minus 1.61. So with row level, it will go to each and every row. So if you see minus 1.77, that is 29 divided by 16, 1.77, and minus 8.6 divided by 6.97, that is 1 minus 1.24. Now if you do aggregation, now after the row level calculation, it will get you, because 1.77 and 1.24, it will be 3 over there. So that's the difference. When you say row level calculation, it will act on each and every row over there. Okay, fair enough. We are going to talk about the table calculation route. Table calculations are calculated after the aggregation. For example, running sum. You have sum of sales. You want running sum across the years. Let's go to the worksheet so that we can understand in a better. So for example, in this case, you have just simple sum of sales across the years, right? 2018, 19, and 20 and 21. So this is an aggregate level, right? This one. This will act according to the dimension that you have dragged in top to column. In this case, it's year. So according to the year, I can see the aggregation over there for the year 2018, that much of sales, and so on. Okay. So your table calculation will act upon these aggregation. It's an internally provided utility for you. Quick table calculation. Okay, running total. Fair enough. It will go. And you have different options over there. You can have percent difference with respect to the previous year. So it's like minus 20% with respect to the previous year, minus 21%. And here you have minus 15% with respect to the previous year, because table calculation will act upon the aggregation, and you have multiple options over there. Running total, difference, percent of total, rank, and so on. Last but not the least, we are going to talk about the level of detail. And if you go with the definition over there, level of detail expression, when the aggregation has to be computed at a different level of detail than the Wiz level of aggregation. So if I talk about the Wiz level of aggregation, for example, this one, if I just do it from the scratch. So again, there's a Wiz level of aggregation is at year level, right? But what I want is I want percent of total. That means this divided by the sum of these 4 figures over there, and that will give me percent of total, right? So I want to do a calculation which is different from my whiz level of detail. So in such cases, you can make use of LOD function. Okay, how? I can go over there. I can say divided by, I can say fixed. So when you are not fixing it against any dimension, that means you are going table across. You are not fixing your calculation or your measure against any dimension. So it will go from left to right in this case. That is across all the years. So I say sum of sales. Okay, fair enough. It will throw some error over there because I need to ensure that both numerator and denominator both should be of type aggregation. Now it says apply. So if I click enter, here you go. Maybe I want to have this as percent, so I can say into 100, into 100. That's it. I do not, I'm not liking this one, so I'll just remove this. Okay. So this is 34% of the overall aggregation, right? This is 26%, this is 21%, this is 17%. So with the help of this fixed LOD, level of detail, I have come out of the visualization level of detail over there, right? That has helped me to come out of that. And remember that the order, as far as order of operation is concerned, this will be, this will happen first, right? This will happen first. This will happen first. Perhaps that is the reason you are able to get that percentage over there, right? This sum of sales as per your visualization LOD, that is here, divided by overall sum of sales. So the order will be like that only. So if someone asks you during the interview, I hope that you will be able to clarify all the doubts of your interviewer over there, and you will give the example and you will give the definition as well. So this is Ritesh signing off from Dancing with Data, क्योंकि data ही दाता है क्या तुमको सब कुछ